Hello and welcome to Hindustan Times Online, Desi Martini. My name is Sandeep, and today I've got a very special guest with me, and she is not an Indian, she's a French national, and her name is Isabella Giordano. Hi, Isabella.
Hi,
Hi,
nice to
it's
meet you.
nice to meet you too.
Yes, great to be here in
Yeah,
Mumbai.
thank you so much. And guys, this interview is regarding the bonds that Indo and the French cinema is about to make in a few years. I mean, obviously there have been a lot of films which have been shot in France, and the French tourism. Sorry,
Yes,
is it the
exactly.
French? Yeah, so they actually want much more association from the Bollywood filmmakers, so that more and more films are shot in France. So, Isabella, my first question to you is: in France, prior to this as well, there has been a lot of films that have been shot in France. I mean, right from the 60s. So one of the first films to be shot in France was Raj Kapoor's Sangam,
Yes.
in Eiffel Tower and different places for that matter. And later on, Yash Chopra's son, Mr. Aditya Chopra, shot the latest film Befikre, which was completely based in Paris. My question to you is, these films have already been shot in France, and a lot of tax rebates were also been given by the government, by the French government, the French tourism for the to the filmmakers, to the Bollywood filmmakers, where it was only 20%, it was extended to 30%. So now, what's the next step, or what do you exactly want to propose to the filmmakers?
Well, maybe the next step will be co-production. I believe the
Okay.
future of the collaboration between our two countries, between India and France, is to make maybe more co-production if the
That's okay.
filmmakers, if the producers agree. But I can feel, I can see that more and more professionals from the two countries want to cooperate and to work together. This is the reason why what we are organizing,
Okay.
and the reason of the meetings today and tomorrow is to set up more collaboration and maybe more cooperation, co-productions.
Okay. Isabella, France is a beautiful country with
Thank you.
beautiful monuments.
India too.
Yeah, and you have Chateau de Chaumont, you have Chateau de I'm sorry, forget the name.
The Château de Chambord,
Yeah, the Chateau de
maybe.
Chambord. Yes, exactly. You have the Louvre Museum as well. So
Yes.
these are all historical places and very beautiful places for that matter. I mean, people in India are quite aware of these places. They love those places. Some people, like me, for instance, have a dream to visit those places. Why do you need an extra, what do you call that? An extra mileage to promote these places in films, because they are anyway very famous.
Um, the places are famous, but I'm sure we don't have so many movies. We can have more shootings in France, and maybe we can offer more availability for the tourist.
Okay.
Of course, France is a paradise for the
It is.
tourist,
Yeah.
but maybe we can offer more and different places. Of course, you have the cliché of the monuments, the castle, as you say. We have Chambord, we have the Eiffel Tower,
Yeah,
but there
absolutely.
is another France. There is also the secret places of France, and this is also very interesting for the tourists, for the people from India or for other parts of the world to come and discover other places in France that are maybe already unknown.
Okay. Isabella, my next question to you is, Indian films have been predominantly, if you talk about outdoor locations, Indian films have been predominantly shot in places like Switzerland and other neighboring countries for that matter. Neighboring countries of France for that matter, but not France predominantly. Why do you think is the reason? Is again the fact that you guys are promoting France tourism through a nexus that's supposed to be built with the Bollywood movies? Is it because of the fact that something of that sort never really happened, or too much of Switzerland in the Indian movies?
No, it's not too much of Switzerland. Of course, Switzerland is a beautiful country,
Yes, it
but
is.
I'm sure we have a lot of opportunities that are not explored yet in France. And I'm sure we have a lot of business to build together between our two countries. India is a great country for cinema. France is also the country where cinema was invented. We are
Absolutely.
the country of cinema. It's the country of cinema lovers. Or both countries are cinema lovers, because
Absolutely.
I know people love to go at the movies in the theaters also in India as they do in France. So
Absolutely.
maybe this kind of cooperation and collaboration can create something very interesting. This is the reason why I believe in co-productions.
Isabella, when we talk about French movies, as you just mentioned, it is definitely, I mean, France can actually boast of filmmakers who have left their mark and who made their mark, and they're still there in the minds of the people who love cinema and understand the semiotics and the language of cinema.
Yeah.
You have Truffaut, you have Godard, you have Rene, you have, I don't know,
So many,
so
so many
many, and
directors.
all of my favorites.
Yeah, great.
Which filmmaker do you think in India, or do you even watch Indian films?
Um,
Not much.
oh, yes, obviously.
Okay.
I don't know a lot of Indian films. Of course, I know the historical, like Satyajit Ray,
Yeah, okay.
um,
So he is
Anisha Kapoor.
Raj Kapoor,
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Gangs of.
Gangs of Wasipur.
I love this movie. Sorry to forget the title
That's okay.
exactly.
That's perfectly fine.
But I wish I would like to discover more Indian movie, and mostly from the next generation and from the young filmmakers. I'm sure there is a lot to exchange
give and take,
yes, and to, because I'm sure there is a lot to discover. And I know also people have a lot of cliché maybe about French cinema, of course, Godard, Truffaut, but we have so many other filmmakers, female also filmmakers, because we are a country where a lot of women are directing films. So this
Absolutely.
is very interesting for us to offer, to promote the French cinema and all the variety of French cinema. As you know, we also have a lot of animation movies. We are a great country to create and to produce animation movie. So there is a lot to discover yet.
What about the filmmakers who are budding, don't really have the budget and don't really have the money to go and shoot in France? France, we know, is a very costly country, especially in country. I mean,
Less expensive
in a
than
very-
Switzerland.
Okay, if you say so. Yeah, right.
Yes.
Maybe. If you talk about numbers, that might be
Yes.
correct. But yes, Paris is again a very expensive city. So, I mean, filmmakers who are budding, who don't really have the budget, what would they have any advantages in? I mean, if they want to shoot in France.
Well, first of all, I think when you are a filmmaker, if you want to make a movie, you do it. If you have this wish inside of you, deeply inside of you, you make your movie. This is really the lesson of the big masters of, of the
Cinema,
past.
exactly.
Yes. I would say that the future is digital. So maybe thanks to the new way to shoot, thanks to digital, it can be easier to have a production with less budget, with less money. You have a lot of films that are made now with low budget, that are, digital with small cameras. So
Absolutely.
this can be an
We are shooting this
opportunity,
in a small camera,
as
yeah.
you do right now. This is maybe a good opportunity for filmmakers.
All right. And my final question to you, Isabella, is nowadays, the new Hollywood repertoire, for that matter, they are filming a lot of films in our country, in India, in Bombay especially. When do we get to see a full-fledged French film production happening in the streets of Bombay, or perhaps anywhere in India for that matter?
Well, I hope so soon, because I really think that we should make more co-production, and we should shoot more French films here in India, because the country is incredible. And I think for everybody who like nice stories, there is a place in India and there is a place in France.
Absolutely.
Because both of the country are really great storytellers.
Absolutely. Isabella, I'd like to apologize to you. I said was my final question, but then there was just one thought that struck my mind right now. Especially with the incidents that just happened in the recent past about the riots in Paris and all of that. The fact that, you are newly promoting this I mean, meet and greet kind of a session that's happening in Bombay here in Sofitel, and I mean, the fact that you're promoting for, I mean, you're rooting for the Bollywood filmmakers to come down and shoot for France. Is that somehow, you know, what do you call that? A ploy to cover the whatever past happenings happened in Paris.
I think there is no link between what happened recently in Paris, because this is really small information regarding, you know, it's not, I hope it's not gonna happen
Okay.
again. So don't worry. I would say my main message is don't worry. France is still a
We shall overcome.
beautiful country.
Yeah.
Yes, you should come. And, you know, the future is culture. The future is education. The future is cinema. So this is the reason why everybody has to get involved more and more in the movie industry.
Wow, it was really a very enlightening chat with you, Isabella. I really loved every bit of it. My name is Sandeep with Hindustan Times Online. Thank you so much.